How's everyone? It's Monday, finally, I'm live. And yeah, there was not much of a technical issues today, so I think I'm on time. And yeah, let's see if anyone joining me today. I hope there will be at least a few people. There's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Obviously, there wasn't any episode in the last couple of weeks, but yeah, I'm back now. Right. Let's see if anyone can give me a thumb up for uh, for the sound and everything. In the meantime, I'm gonna lit my cigar and yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry about the delay. I am almost ready. Just sorting a few more stuff with the stream and yeah. So, what's everyone smoking? Come on, show me a message. Show me what you have today. I'll show you what I'm smoking tonight. Tonight it's something quite old. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Um, this is a cigar made in the early 50s. It's a German made cigar, I believe, using quite a lot of Cuban tobacco. Back in the time, that wasn't an issue that much. Nowadays, a lot of people claim to using Cuban tobacco, but I think it's a little bit gimmick. So, but yeah, back in the time, that was a thing. The size on this cigar, well, the band is really nice, old school type Cuban band, if I can call it that way. Uh, it's a beautiful made. There's a nice red unicorns on the middle of the band. Some guy's head on the side. I don't know who's the guy, and it says perfection. I might make a video for them one day, to be honest. Size wise, it's a perfecto 5 inch. The widest part, I mean, it's quite box press at the moment, but the widest part is around 56, 58 ring gauge. Quite lightweight, so I reckon that will be enough for the show. Oh, someone says hello. Hi, Nader. And hi, Craig. So, until I'm lighting the cigar, yeah, I apologize about the last week. Last week I was supposed to be live, but I was so tired. Honestly, I came back from Dortmund and I was exhausted. And yeah, of course, there was an issue with the flies and everything, so uh, it wasn't completely without any problem. That's why I decided to skip the live show last week. But yeah, I'm here today. So, Dortmund. Before we go to some of the standard topics and everything, I promised on the last live a couple of weeks ago that I'm going to try to talk more about Dortmund and what was the interesting thing in Dortmund. So this year, Intertabak was, I found it busier than ever, especially Friday, Thursday, and Friday. It was so busy. It was a lot of people. I also was quite busy myself. I didn't have time to move that much into the booths. I have few interesting chats and meetings with different people. I managed to see a lot of interesting cigars. I smoked some interesting cigars. In regarding to the smoking, probably I will not say. I mean, I smoke a lot of cigars, but I'm not gonna talk about every single one. The more interesting ones, probably the biggest surprise I have on the show was a brand called Hemi, Hemi. As far as I managed to talk with the owner, it's a German brand. The guy is Cuban, I think, from Cuban background, but live in Germany. Made cigars in Dominican Republic. He make few lines. I smoked the more premium one, and it was a really good cigar. And to be honest, it was a bunch of us. We were a group of few people which worked together on different booths. Everyone who smoked some of these cigars said they're really good cigars. I'll need to relight my cigar. So yeah, everyone was saying the cigars they smoke, they're very decent. The owner the owner says that there's a probably Cuban tobacco. He didn't say that openly, but he tried to wiggle with the ice, and probably is a Cuban tobacco in there, which I won't be surprised. I know the factory where they used to roll them in the yard, they have some access to a Cuban filler, so I won't be surprised. I don't think I can point there's a Cuban tobacco. I'm not. I think this is very hard task. Someone, some blender or anyone who can smoke a cigar and say, "Oh, definitely there's some parts of Cuban tobacco." Okay, if it's a maybe 100% Cuban cigar, you can tell. But if you can to tell only there's a certain leaves of the Cuban tobacco, that will be a task. Little problem with the sound. Okay, what's wrong with the sound? How is it now? Is it better? Shall I talk closer to the mic? Um, yeah, I don't. I did some checks at the beginning, but I didn't see there's a much of an issue. But let me know if you can hear me now. Um, so yeah, the other cigar I smoked, and it was a quite a surprise. That was Rojas, the 10th anniversary. It was first. I'm a big fan of Rojas at all as a brand. I smoked most of the cigars he released in, and first time I smoked in the 10th anniversary. It was outstanding cigar. Honestly, I couldn't say anything bad for the cigar. Size wise, Toro, I believe 6 by 52, 54. Um, yeah, I mean, I spoke with Noel and he was there, and I asked him why the cigar is so different. It was some unusual taste, and he apparently says in the cigar there's a filler from cracking. Is it still cracking? I'm so pissed off of those mic situations. Okay, is he worse or better? If anyone can, Mace, can you hear me now? Is it still cracking? Right. I wanna fix the sound before I continue talking. I'll think what solution I can fix. I think this is same. Okay. Is that change? Is it still the same or change a little bit? Same. Ah, I'm so pissed off. Honestly, this whole situation with the mic is okay. Let's see how that will be now. I've literally changed 15 different cables. Okay, how is now? Is he better? Can you hear me better? Does anyone can confirm? Wow, better. Okay. Okay, let's do it that way. Nice. Change the cables a few times, but perfect. So where was I? I was on the Rojas cigars. So yeah, I was saying, I spoke with Noel, and he found some tobacco in a place which is a desert in Nicaragua, where nobody grow anything, and his one of his good friends, he have a small farm there, and he grow a very small portion of tobacco, and he used it in the blend of the tent, and the tent is fantastic cigar. It's not a specific name on the tobacco. It's just the place where it's grown. It's basically desert. No one grow anything. That's what makes it special and different. So if you guys have the opportunity to get the Rojas 10th anniversary, just grab it. It's worth a box. I don't know how expensive is the cigar. I was planning to check, but I didn't have the time. But yeah, worth a box. Also, another cigar I want to pinpoint as on the good side. This is El Pulpo. El Pulpo, which means the octopus, by Artesano del Tabaco. I believe the cigar was in top 25 cigar aficionado last year. And I've smoked three or four. They're all very good. This was the cigar I smoked most because the guys from that company was very friendly. We talk a lot. Every time I pass around the stand, come around, they ask me to go around. They give me some cigars. So they were good people. I'm not saying this because they give me cigars. I came back with about 150 cigars. So a lot of people give me cigars, and I won't say good stuff for everyone. But those guys, the cigar is made by AJ Fernandez, as far as I know. Really nice. You don't have that strength in the dark AJ Fernandez cigars. It's more of a medium strength. Box press 54, 56 ring gauge on 5-inch Robusto. If you can find those as well, buy some. I think those are more expensive. They're probably $16, $17 in the US. I believe those coming to UK as well. They're probably in Europe already. The distribution company for Europe is actually Macedonian company, I believe, or somewhere from that region, and they will distribute it in the whole Europe. So probably many markets will get the cigar. And those are the very positive cigars I smoked. I smoked one very negative one, but I'll say it again. It's then the worst cigar I smoked in there was El Septimo Orange Band Chunky Torpedo. I don't know what's the name on the full name on the cigar. I don't even make the effort to check. It's someone told me and say, "Oh, you smoke those are quite expensive." Apparently, they're probably something like $80 or something like that. The cigar wasn't good. I was struggling. Everyone around me, all the group with people with me, they always like throw the cigar. Don't bother. I finished the cigar. It took me 2.5, 3 hours. I relight it, I don't know, 30 times. It was burning on the side. It's just not burning. Awful taste. But yeah, it's, me. If it's a bad cigar, I would say it's a bad cigar. And yeah, this was a bad experience. The funny thing is, we were few of us, all of us get the cigar from El Septimo. We were walking, smoking. Only mine was the one with the issue. I don't know if that's the lucky guy as well, or the other guys. They have no construction issues. They wasn't happy much with the flavors and aromas, but they have no problem with the construction issues. Mine was ridiculously bad on construction. But yeah, I'm not gonna rant anymore about it. Interesting stuff on the accessory part.
ST DuPont releasing some new fancy lighters. There was a lighter with Frank Mille watches. I don't know if we pronounce it right. So they were. It was a quite interesting lighter with a watch inside. Um, Chunky piece, expensive. I managed to hold it in my hand. It's a big lighter. I don't know if I want to walk with that kind of piece in my pocket. It's the same if you walk with this one. So this is a I don't know, probably 150 200 grams chunky lighter. I know it's only 3 jets, but it's a heavy one. And DuPont's okay. It's not big as that one, but it's heavy. The other big brand for accessories, Le Film releasing lighters now. I saw all the lighters they already having prepared to release. I'm not overly impressed with the design. I mean, they look like the Zeno and Peter James one, the one which is sliding down when you pressing the button. Very similar idea, not much different design. I don't know. I think the ideas getting declining down. How to say it? So their idea with the knife was amazing. The punch I think was a good idea. Ashtrays, I'm not massive fan of the ashtrays, but I have one big problem. I have one of the ashtrays. It cannot clean the ashtray. The ashtray is beautiful until you use it. Once you use it, it's getting stains and it's dirty because it's a concrete. You cannot wash it. There's no way. I mean, I've tried to wash it. I put some bleach in it. It's just not fixing it. Apparently, I saw some new ashtrays from them, and the new ashtrays are made from aluminium, different metals, so they look fancy and better. But I don't know, they will be probably way more expensive than the concrete one. Concrete one, I think they're around 50, 60 pounds. In Europe, maybe slightly cheaper. But yeah, for ashtray, which is dirty, I don't like it. And then they released the guillotine, which it's an interesting design. The first one, T100, it's a little bit too chunky for me. I don't think they released the new one yet. No, they do a smaller one, which is more expensive, ridiculously. But I know a few people which have the bigger one, and they're not very happy with the sharpness. And they haven't even used it for longer. They cut few cigars and they're not happy with the sharpness. So I don't know. The lighters, I haven't. They have the lighters, but I didn't manage to try them. But I just don't like the look. It doesn't look like something very different and wow or whatever. On the other side, I've tried Guillotina de Saka. That's Steve Saka's guillotine, and that's actually quite nice. I mean, I know it's expensive. That was my issue. I even rave about it before. It's expensive, but it's really nice design. It's on when you look. I don't know if you guys have you seen it. Maybe Google and see Guillotina de Saka. It's look very plastic on it or something. It's not. It's actually metal. It's heavy. It's nice piece of kit. Also, it's on springs, so when you press it, it doesn't go and you need to have it in the other hand and just open. No, it's on springs. It's loaded. And it's very smartly made, so you can replace the blade. So the blades are like those carpet knives. They're similar small blades, and you can replace it. But Steve says basically one of the blades should last you a few thousand cigars. So when you buy it, they give you a pack with blades, and that's probably lifetime. I don't know what you need to do. Maybe cutting cigars professionally in the shops and stuff to be able to change blades yearly or whatever. But if you're using it for a personal use, 1,000 cigars, maybe year or two. And if you have like 10, 20 blades inside, so that's like 10, 15 years at least worth of using this cutter. So it's a good piece. Fortunately, I don't know if you're going to sell them. The moment they give them away with for the regular customers and people who buy a lot of the Barton stuff in the US. I don't know if they planning to release them. They're made in the US. That's one of the reasons to be like $400 guitar. So those was probably the more fun, interesting stuff I've seen. The more interesting cigars I smoke. There's a new releases. So I'm working at the moment on a video where you're gonna see some of the new releases. I can mention probably few interesting releases like ep.4. ep.4 have like bunch of new releases, and the more interesting one is the new cigar from the line of the Pledge, Historia, and Encore, and Allegiance. So it's called Endure. It's an orange band and using Merafel Cameroon. So there's a food band which says Cameroon by Merafel or Merafel Cameroon. That will be released approximately next year. Early next year. They give me a couple of cigars. I haven't tried them yet. There's so many cigars I need to try, so I can't give an opinion on that one yet. That's a very, very interesting release. What else? I'm super excited. LFD, they're releasing their 30th anniversary. That cigar look fantastic. It's a big chisel. It's a massive chisel. We were together with Usman. He smoked his one. It took him like 3 hours or something. I haven't smoked the one they give me, but that looked like a massive cigar. There wasn't some of the cigars we've seen recently, like Padron 60th. That cigar wasn't there. I was hoping at least to see the cigar. It wasn't there. There wasn't much new releases from some of the big names like Plasencia, Oliva. I mean, Oliva released their new limited edition 2024, which is just a different size. Plasencia changed the other additional size to 149. Now it's a chunky Perfecto. It's a long and not that chubby, more unified Perfecto. Into the 149 line. What else? I mean, if I can tell for every brand, that will take me hours. So I think I can probably conclude here the Dortmund section and stop bothering you more with the Dortmund. If you guys have any questions on the Dortmund, please shoot them out in the chat. And yeah, I thinking to move to the interesting news releases and what happened in the industry in the last couple weeks, if I can call it that way, because again, I've not been updating for a couple of weeks. And the first thing I want to talk about it is some new releases. So there are actually few releases I want to talk about. I probably in my style, I might say good stuff for them, and I also might rant a little bit about them. But the first one is the Bond Roberts releasing Linnea D number 1. So I think most of the people here know who are Bond Roberts, what they're doing. They're one of the biggest auction sites. They have a nice connection with the UK, also Australia. I saw the question, Ryan. I'll give you an answer in a few minutes. Let me just finish talking about the Bond Roberts cigar. Bond Roberts cigar made by Oscar, blended by Hamlet Paredes. They already started doing a few stuff like that. They release JJ Fox House blends. They did few interesting cigars. I haven't smoked any of those cigars, but now officially Bond Roberts releasing the cigar with the band and everything and cabinets, and I don't know. It sounds the releasing price will be $21. It's a big cigar, 109 cup. Sounds a little bit too much for me for a cigar which Again, you start with that's more on the expensive side. I don't know how much will be in UK, but I reckon 25-30 pounds, which is not that much. But if you put the dollar price, $20, that's already top tier on some of the brands. Apparently, they're using Honduran Nicaraguan tobacco, so they at least didn't came up with the um, idea of using Cuban tobacco. Like everyone now says, oh, we're using Cuban tobacco. I mean, if you just think how many people says they're using Cuban tobacco, they producing more cigars than using Cuban tobacco than Cuba itself, which doesn't make lots of sense. But again, we cannot prove otherwise, so we'll believe what they say. So that's on Bond Robber cigars. I don't usually use the guys. I don't find them cheaper. I don't anymore follow that much of a crazy auctions in the Cuban cigars. So it's not my place where I'm shopping. But I'm gonna give a try to the cigar, especially when I go down to JJ Fox if they have it available. I'm curious. I usually like both of the guys behind the cigar. I like Oscar. I like most of his cigars, and I like Paredes. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And yeah, that's on this space. Before I go to the next release, I want to answer shortly on the question from Ryan. He was asking, did I see any of the Affidano or Ratching humidors in Germany? I know Ratching for ages. I'm in contact with few of the people. I seen the humidors. They look nice. I think they have far too many complications inside. Not complication, but how to call it. They have like 4 fans and stuff like that. I don't think you need that much. I've spoke with the guy which is one of the most well-known making humidors, custom-made humidors, and he says it's a little bit too much marketing and gimmick around it. Maybe that's why they charge slightly more than some of the other guys. The humidor looks nicely built. I've seen people using it. I don't think they have any problems. They are one of the best, probably Chinese-made humidors, but again, they're slightly more expensive than some of the others. I don't know what's the other brand, Affidano or Affidano, or I don't know how you pronounce it. I haven't seen it. I don't follow. I don't follow much the humidors, to be honest. Long time ago I stopped following anything related to the humidors. Last 3 humidors I converted myself, and the room behind me is my humidor, so I don't need any of those cabinets. I've seen some interesting looking humidors. Are they actually are they work fine? Are all the humidification inside is finely made? I don't know. I even don't stop around the humidor brands like Ele Blue and some of the others. They look nice outside, but paying X amount of thousands pounds or euro for a small box, it doesn't appeal to me. Don Pepin JJ Original Series Madura is a new release. I'm not entirely sure. That wasn't in Dortmund. So the Tuaje and Don Pepin, my father, didn't have anything fancy and new released in Germany. I'm trying to remember Pepin JJ Maduro. I think it's a new release. I'm pretty sure I've seen posts about it. I cannot say anything more about it. Yeah, Ryan, it's a nice. Sorry if I can help you more with it. I probably, if I want to buy humidor and I don't want to spend fortune, I would reach out to Raching or Raching. I don't know what's the right name pronouncing. But also, there's a way cheaper companies than that. I don't know if they're good enough, of course, but they're way more expensive as well. So Raching on the cheaper side, maybe charging good money for what they looks like. The humidor looks quality built. They have a nice presence on every Dortmund. They're not one of those guys which have no website or anything. They're actually very active. So I reckon even if you have any issues with them, it'll be easily to be sorted. And I think they ship everywhere. Okay, time to talk about the next release. Usually, I try to not to talk for every release. I'm picking the stuff which are interesting and which I think I can talk about them. And the next one, this is Davidoff announced a releasing on Oro Blanco version 2. Mike cigar collect a lot of tar. Let me cut that one. I don't know why. So this is like 60 years old cigar and still a lot of tar. It's not a tight draw. It's just collect tar. So fix that one. So Davidoff releasing Oro Blanco 2. I never smoked Oro Blanco 1. Again, it's for me. It's I don't see myself paying $500 for one cigar. I don't know how rich I should be to be able to do that. Even if I have, I don't know, if that's a pocket money for me, I don't think I'm going to buy maybe one to try, but I'll be very skeptical because obviously you're buying something like that. You're still 2 hours smoke or 2.5 hours and you're $500 less. So anyway, we talk about the new one now. New one, $750. I don't know. One cigar, $750. Even Cohiba Gran Reserva Esplendido was released on less than that. And at least Cohiba have that crazy Chinese followers and they have, this special bands, etc. Oro Blanco to $750. They say, it's 111 years of combined tobacco. And I mean, a lot of blenders and people who are in the cigar industry, you talk with them and they're like, the more the tobacco age without being rolled, it'll losing a little bit. It's not, especially when you go to a crazy age like above 10, 12 years, you're losing. It doesn't benefit you that necessarily. I have like those 50 years old bales of tobacco. It not necessarily benefits them. And yeah, what's the point? You want to say, we have the oldest tobacco in the world combined in one cigar. That's why we charge $750. I don't know. Davidoff recently rolled a new release. I think they losing some followers. They losing some of the people who used to buy and smoke. Maybe it's just my opinion. I still enjoy Davidoff from time to time. I smoke them as much as they can. I mean, they're quite nice cigars, most of them. But every new release is just competing with the Cubans. It's even more expensive than the Cubans. So that's where was kept all those years. Well, it was kept probably in the Hinkies factory. I don't know. I mean, I need to see how old is the oldest tobacco. I don't know if they say. So that the old cigar was made of tobacco. This one, 17 years, and one of the tobaccos never been used by Davidoff before. So yeah, if you have 6 leaves which are 17 years old, that's 60, 102. Okay, 16. I mean, each leaves will probably age for 16 to 18 years old. I don't know what's wrong with my guys, honestly. Guys, it's I might start using some of the other mics. To be honest, this is usually is a good mic. I don't know what's the issue with it, but okay, it's okay now. Okay, let me know if the sounds change towards the end, because if not, I think I have the solution. If it's okay now and no cracking, I think I have what's the problem. But yeah, I was saying the tobacco's been aged most age probably 17, 18 years. So that's not that big period of time. That's what 2004, 2006, that kind of stuff. But still, I was talking about the old releases, the new releases from Davidoff, and the Diadema, the recent release of the Diadema was like 80 quid retail. Maduro, they start from around 50, 60 pounds for the smaller sizes to 80 pounds. Before that, few limited editions like the Aniversario number 1 was 115 pounds or something. Year of the Dragon, Year of the Tiger, same thing. Crazy. So I don't know. It's me little rant on Davidoff. I usually don't rant. I mean, I love Davidoff. I smoke Davidoff. But doesn't it storing of the tobacco ferment away the ammonia? I mean, not for 17 years. I mean, to fermentation of the tobacco is one thing. Aging is different. I'm planning to release some episodes on both topics. I'm just need to find time, of course, for that stuff. But so when you're fermenting the tobacco, you not age it. Fermenting the tobacco, there's a few different fermentation. Depend on the leaves, depend on the variety, depend on the where you are. But the fermentation of the tobacco is to get, basically the point of the fermentation is to get rid of the, I don't know, maybe 85% of the water, get rid of all the ammonia, most of the nicotine, and all the unpleasant dirt which is on the tobacco. I mean, because it's on the open field, you have all kind of bugs, insects, whatever unpleasant thing, animals touching the tobacco, whatever. So the point of the fermentation is to get rid of all those things, because the process of fermentation, you wash the tobacco basically every couple of days, and you get rid of anything unpleasant. And then when the tobacco is already fermented, ready from the fermentation, you shouldn't have any ammonia there. So the ammonia should be gone definitely, and most of the big non-Cuban brands, they get rid of the ammonia with the fermentation. Sometimes when you get a Cuban cigar, when you smell it in the box, you might feel that ammonia smell. That's because it's not been fermented properly. But Cuba ferment the tobacco way faster than the other guys. Maybe that's one of the reasons they don't have enough tobacco. Who knows? But after the fermentation, when the tobacco is fermented and ready, they put it in a bales and they store it. It can last for I don't know, decades. But obviously it's a living material, so you need to store it right. You can't just throw it in the warehouse and this is fine. No, you need humidification rooms. You need the places where it's cold, chill, maybe slow down a little bit the process of the maturing, of aging. It's a different process. But yeah, so the next, I think this is my rant about Davidoff a little bit. The next thing I want to talk about, it's another release, which again I will rant a little bit about it. This is the Cohiba Vistosus. It's debuting on recently. There was a premiere and some exhibition in Cannes in France, and okay, so another Cohiba, which we will not see. Of course, dual banded. Every band cost more money than the previous one. So size-wise, exactly the same size as Trinidad Esmeralda. And I don't think they release a price yet. What will be the price? In my opinion, will be 300 euro. But we'll see. What's my issue here? Again, it's if it's just a standard release, I'm not gonna probably discuss that much. But the problem here is this cigar was released for travel exclusive shops, all the duty free, etc. And I was thinking, even today, I was meeting a couple of friends, which all of them are into the cigar industry, especially into the Cuban industry. There's a few very influential people. I have a lunch with them. All of them are smoking predominantly, if not only, Cuban cigars. And we discussed this cigar, and I decided to include it in the show. Which duty free you've seen Cohibas? That's my question. Where do we see? Where did we see? Is any of you seen any Cohibas? Maybe a part of the cigarillos. In some of the duty shops. Which duty shop selling cigars? Some of those fancy new releases, because I haven't seen them. I mean, I don't travel that much, but I would say I travel to some cigar related countries. Even to be honest, I'm going to China next week, and I'm curious to see if I'm going to see any cigars in the duty free shop. Exactly. I mean, Nader says he didn't see the amber. I know people already. Some of the people smoke amber. They say it's a phenomenal cigar. Personally, I haven't smoked it. But okay, amber is not even exclusive for duty free. But this cigar will be exclusive for duty free. So that means usually the shops wouldn't get it. And cigar look exactly the same as Trinidad Esmeralda, same size, pigtail. So I have the feeling this might be Trinidad Esmeralda, just under the new clothes, under the name Cohiba. So, there we go. Someone have 3 Cohiba Robusto from the ferry crossing. Okay, that's new. I haven't used ferry in ages, probably decade. If you don't mind, which ferry was that one? Do you know which country was crossing where we can? But I don't know. Ferry is a little bit different for me. I still duty free shops, but it's a ferry and it's a boat. You spend much more time there than the duty free shop in the airports. And also you can probably smoke on the boats. I don't know. Maybe can you smoke on the boats? If they have outside area, maybe you can. UK to France. Okay, nice. I mean, there we go. We found some Cohiba. Robustus. I mean, Robustus are everywhere in UK. I don't think there's a shop which doesn't sell the Robustus. But the exclusive stuff, because Habanos keep releasing some exclusive humidors, exclusive boxes, exclusive packs, and I've never seen any of those. Maybe some even the tins, they were releasing some metal tins with slim Coronas or Coronas, standard Coronas, Marevas. They were at the beginning travel exclusive. I haven't seen any of those in travel, even if they're like probably in Europe. They're 10 euro a piece, 12 euro. They're nothing too crazy. I still haven't seen those. Is he aimed for China and never meant to come in Europe? Well, this was be released in Europe. Is not. I reckon a lot of them will go to China, but it's supposed to be duty free and that kind of travel boutiques shops. So I don't think it's aimed for China. Even if China owns half of the Habanos. Why the high price, Jacob? I'm not sure which one you're talking, Jacob. The high price on the Davidos or the high price on the Cohibas? Cohibas, I don't have a price yet. I'm just speculating. I think will be maybe something like £200-300, or if it's travel exclusive, okay, dollars. What, $300? It might be that. It might be less. It might be more. Nobody knows for sure. The Davidoff, why the high price? Because the old Oro Blanco was $500. I don't think they want to release something cheaper. They want the next unicorn, the next collectible Davidoff, the next piece which everyone wants to try to buy. That's why they place that $750. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's at the end of the day is a $3 to $5 cigar. Even if you, I mean, I always say making a cigars in those factories, in those places, using new tobacco will cost you $5 and max. Even if you use, I don't know, as they say, 20 years old tobacco, I don't think the cigar should cost more than 15, call it $20 to make a cigar. I've never heard of a factory which makes cigars coming out of the factory on $20. And even if, let's say, this is a $20 cigar, why $750? What's the between 20 and 750? It's a big difference. People will say buns, boxes, but every other cigar is also use buns and boxes. I don't know. It's just it doesn't make any sense. But that's me again. This is you don't need to be agree with my opinion. I just don't follow that. Why a cigar should cost 750, even if it's like 20 years old tobacco, or the story with the it's 111 years old. Yeah, I mean you can buy 100 years old cigar on auction, and it probably wouldn't cost you 750 per piece. The supply and the demand, the old supply and the demand, possibly. Okay, one more topic I want to talk about today. We're not going to rant anymore about new releases. I want to talk about something which is kind of another negative news. That's Switzerland implementing new rules on the tobacco smoking. So they were one of the few countries which, I don't know if you know, guys, but in Switzerland there's some cantons which apparently they don't need specific age to buy tobacco. So you can be 16 and you can still buy cigars. That's changing. So from now on, everyone need to follow the age group, age gap. And also, they, as far as they manage from the article I read and asked different people about it, you won't be able to advertise now on public places. You won't be able to get any advertisement swags and materials on some of the events and stuff like that, which I don't think it doesn't sound logically yet, but we'll see what's going to happen. But yeah, the main thing is they ban all promoting. You can't do sponsorships on the young people, like football teams and anything. You cannot be sponsored if you're tobacco related. Basically, they follow what's happening in the rest of the Europe, with all the countries, even the one we're here now. That was just a point I want to mention. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions towards the news or anything, let me know. There's some time left for the topic I want to talk a little bit more today. This is as I mentioned in the video, purging. Maybe some people never came across that one. They don't know what's it about. So basically, purging is a very specific way where you can maybe fix a cigar if there's an issue with the cigar. What is a purging? Purging is basically when you have a lit cigar and you need to blow through the cigar. So you don't draw, you blow. It's completely opposite. So instead of taking puffs, you do the opposite. You just blow like a straw. So why are we doing that? Usually it's not necessary to do it. It's not something you do it on every cigar or often, but I found it helpful if the cigar doesn't taste nice. Sometimes when you have like burn issue, construction issue, flux or anything, it would give it a try. I would say taste wise, if it's a bitterness or anything, it fixed the cigar maybe 8 out of 10 times. Purging like that, you just blow all the particles which are not nice, all the burnt oil pieces and everything. You just blow it out. You don't bring them in. If it's a construction issue, we'll probably sort it. Maybe let's call it 3 out of 10 if it's a construction issue. It's usually doesn't work much on the construction issue. It's more on the flavors. Yeah, I mean, as Jacob, you're right. It's get rid of the bitterness. Ammonia, I don't think you can get rid of the ammonia because the ammonia is not from the burn. The ammonia is just in the tobacco. There's a I'm gonna make probably a video which explaining exactly what's happening when you burn in the tobacco, the combustion, the condensation, because it's actually it's like condensing air. You know, the outside part of the cigar burn on different temperatures than the inside, and when you're smoking, you're creating condensation, the cooling effect, and that's how you get the flavors. You don't actually burn the oils itself. You do the condensation, and if you smoke too fast, you burn the oils, and then you get the problem with the sometimes bitterness and burnt and that kind of flavors. So, but that would be a bigger topic. So I want to make a concentrate creating this one. Purging, that's an interesting. How make the cigar burn hotter? It's maybe at the first few minutes will burn a little bit hot because you literally blow and um, create more concentrating airflow, and that's why you start burning a little bit hotter. But you should normalize after a few minutes. But yeah, you need to slow down. That's a very good advice, Jacob. It's just I always say slow down. Maybe even if the cigar go out, it's fine. You just relight it. I've seen some people. This is another experiment I'm playing at the moment. It will take time until I conclude something. Uh, if you leave the cigar and relight the cigar on the next day, how bad is it? Because I've tried, I don't like it. But apparently, if you let's say I leave my cigar and I finish it tomorrow, after the first 5 minutes from the cigar tomorrow, the flavors are still there. You can get some nice flavors. And I've tried a few cigars, and it's actually I tend to agree on that. And I always advocate for the completely opposite. I always say, that's why I have the sizes. Choose the right size if you don't have a time. But sometimes it's something urgent I need to do, where I need to stop smoking, and I come back to cigars in more than a couple hours, even sometimes on the next day. And I don't want to bin it because it was a pleasant cigar. So I now experimenting that. Leave some cigars on the side, relight them on the next day, smoke for 5-10 minutes, and then the bad flavors and smell and aromas just get rid of them, and the good stuff will start coming back. And the purging is one of the things which I think help as well. So if you decide to stop smoking the cigar and maybe continue tomorrow again, it's probably not advisable. But if in some situation you need to do it and you don't want to bin the cigar, it's just do a good purge on the cigar and then leave it. Don't take any puffs after that. Yes, so much talking, my cigar is off. So that was, I mean, it's not a massive topic. Usually on those lives, if I want to talk for a specific topic, I can't concentrate all the time and remember everything I want to talk about, because sometimes I do a lot of research. I don't want to just throw you nonsense of my thinking. I do ask some people who have a better knowledge than me about some specifications and technicality. And once I get everything, I try to remember it. And sometimes when I start talking about different topics, answering some comments, I lose my mind what I'm talking about. And that's why I would try to concentrate more on the news and what's happening, what's interesting, so we can discuss it. And if I want to do more technical video, I'll probably create a separate video, record it, edit it a little bit, and then throw it out there. I already I'm the moment working on 4 different videos. Should be probably, I would say, in the next until end of the month, all of them should be added. If I don't have any extra trips somewhere, one of them will be all the cigars I saw in Dortmund. I will talk about them. The other one will be a specific box of cigars I'm so impressed, and I separately record a video about it. I'm also working on probably the most controversial topic in the cigar industry. That's plum and malt. That will be a very interesting video. I won't tell you much now, but it will be very, very. I haven't seen anything similar posted. So it's an interesting project. I want this will be to be added as soon as I can. Maybe towards end of the month will be ready. And I sit down last weekend when I was checking my plan, what I want to talk about, what I want to discuss. I have over 40 different topics I want to record videos, so there will be plenty of interesting stuff if you, especially if you want to go deep in the technicalities and the technical aspects on the cigars, tobacco, blending, etc. There's a plenty of topics. The problem is the time now. If everything is on plan, the next year or year and a half, I'm gonna have enough videos to throw out there. And in the meantime, if you guys are interested about something we want to talk about, I'm very open to talk about those stuff. Also, by the way, um, let me ask you a question. Um, it's something I'm discussing with a bunch of people at the moment, and I want to collect people's opinion because it's a very interesting topic for me. Do you think you can recognize the smell of a Cuban cigars from non-Cubans and fakes? I'm talking when you have a box of cigars, you open the box of cigars, and just by the smell, can you tell this is a 100% Cuban cigar? That's a very interesting question, and it's a serious question. I mean, it might sound joke for me at the beginning. Was like, yeah, that's a nonsense. But apparently, there's a bunch of people which says they can recognize. None of those people working in the industry or is related to the industry, so it's just aficionados and people who like to smoke cigars. And I have asked since Saturday. I've asked about 60 different people, all related in the industry, all working in the industry. Some of them are one of the biggest collectors of Cuban cigars. They smoke only Cuban cigars, nothing else. And none of those people confirm and says yes. So for me, it's as Anatoly mentioned, we're not talking about burn smoke smell. We talk about smell in a raw condition without cigar being lit. So I don't know. I need to. I'm going to research a lot about them. And again, so far no one tell it can make a difference. Even people again who only smoke Cuban cigars, they're one of some of the most well-known people in the Cuban collections in the Cuban world. None of those people can find the difference only by the smell. Maybe if it's a phenomenal difference in the cigar, you have like Brazilian wrapper mata fina, which is tend to be a little different color, obviously, sweetness, or Connecticut broadleaf. But if you have Habano grown wrapper, Ecuadorian Connecticut, and Cuban tobacco, Cuban cigars, I don't think you can find the difference. But again, I'm open to anyone who can prove it. I'll be very curious. I'm definitely gonna experiment more. I'm gonna keep asking basically every single person I see from the industry. It's yeah. The comments are interesting. Yeah, I mean, Mace, I'm exactly like you. I mean, this is we're talking about cigar which has not been lit. Open the box. You have two boxes. Let's say box of fake cigars and box of Cuban cigars. And the fake Cubans, they usually made in Mexico, Dominican Republic, maybe Cuba as well. Apparently, people can say by the smell, this is not Cuban cigar. I don't know. I mean, I don't smoke that many Cubans nowadays. Maybe my palate is a little bit different. Again, we not talk about the taste. We absolutely not talk about touching the cigar with your lips. It's just nose, and the cigar is not lit. So yeah, that's an interesting topic. I'm gonna keep researching about it. I don't know if you guys seen. I had a couple interesting cigars which I smoke, which I think not easy to find. So that's another thing I'm gonna keep posting in the channel. Short 2-3 minute videos when I'm smoking something interesting, where I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it or it's not exist anymore. So I'm gonna keep throwing that kind of short videos in the meantime. Next week they will not be a live show because I will be somewhere in Beijing, in China, next Monday. It would be nice if I can do live, but there's an 8 hours difference. So if you're gonna do that at 8 p.m. here. That means I need to be like what's 4 o'clock in the morning in China. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. Um, so a lot of times I get nuttiness from smelling Nicaraguan cigar. I mean, yes, you can pick some specific nuances from that. Again, I can tell you another example with specific Honduran type of tobacco where the smell, maybe you can get different like pine smells and stuff, but mostly it's not on the smell, it's when you lit the cigar. Just on the nose, come on guys, it's tobacco is it's even, I mean, if you say, oh, this one is grown in Cuba, the other one is grown in Nicaragua, but even if they use same variety of tobacco, same strain, Habanos, Habanesis, Piloto, Pinar de Oria, or Criollo, Corojo, how you can tell this one is grown in Cuba, this one is not being grown in Cuba? I mean, taste wise, yeah, they're different. They're close but different. But smell, I don't know. It's again, I'm yet to be convinced. I'm gonna keep researching, keep digging. It makes me very very interesting. It was a joke for me at the beginning, but then more people get involved, and I just want to ask. And yeah, it's I'm not that long in the industry, so that's why I'm asking the more knowledgeable people than me. But yeah, this is ongoing thing. Yeah, I was saying there will be no live next week. Unfortunately, I'll be somewhere in China. Probably will try to post some stuff in Instagram from China. I've never been there. We'll see. I can't tell you exactly what I'm gonna do there. I already signed some NDA, so I can't discuss much. But definitely, we'll try to smoke some cigars. We'll try to post from some places. I don't know if we're gonna have a lot of time to go around lounges and stuff in China, but. Yeah, there will be live week after, which is let me check the date, 21st. Yeah, I think 21st will be the next live, and yeah, please keep sharing the good stuff, keep talking, leave me good comments. I mean, even if you leave negative, it's fine. Don't worry. It's more of a pleasure, but also a little bit of business, Jacob. So, but yeah, we're gonna smoke a lot of cigars. Let's call it that way. So yeah, thanks for the support, guys. Thanks for being here. I've seen a bunch of people already on the live. Sorry about the technical issues. I think was the problem now. So I hope I'm gonna sort it next time. And yeah, in the meantime, just shoot me a message if you wanna see something. If you wanna know more about something, just shoot me a message, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. So yeah, enjoy your evening, guys.